Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Monday, February 13th, 2023. A brand new week, and we're going to have fun no matter what happens, and it's going to be a wild ride this week. Let's talk about that. Before we even touch on what the markets are about to do this morning, I want to talk about yet another big call by a Wall Street superbank, maybe the Wall Street superbank of superbanks, and I'm talking about JP Morgan. So JP Morgan just this morning is advising its clients here to limit their exposure to the long end of the stock market here, meaning people shouldn't be buying stocks. Now, JP Morgan is going on here to say that they believe, and I can't imagine how they can say this, but okay, I'm going to just relay the information to you, that right now we have hit the top, a market top. Okay, so let's back up a moment here. Morgan Stanley, just a week or two ago, talking about a massive, their words, massive disconnect in the stock market. Bank of America, talking about a day of reckoning. Now, JP Morgan, this is pretty profound. Imagine being an investment bank and telling your clients to limit their exposure here to the stock market. Obviously, these three institutions here are seeing something, and I think we know what it is already. We'll talk more about that in a moment. They feel so strongly about it that they have to flash these little warnings. Look, you and I realize that forget the stock market. It's the debt market. Now, right now, the debt market, it's a ticking time bomb. The MMRI this morning, 241.5. 241.5. I've been beating this to death as of late. We know where the first line in the sand is with regard to the MMRI. Free to you, free to everybody. Link in the description of this video. We're 8.5 points away from the first line in the sand, which is 250. Now, just real quick, yesterday I ran a poll to see where you believe the MMRI is going in a week from today. Most of you believe the MMRI is going higher. Okay, if that does happen, market's going to hate it. It's going to hate it. Maybe JP Morgan's right. Maybe Morgan Stanley's right. Of course, we know there's a major disconnect in the market. Maybe Bank of America is right here talking about a day of reckoning. Of course, they're right. A day of reckoning is coming, but it's not going to begin, nor will it end in the stock market. It's going to begin in the debt market, which is the hyper bubble of hyper bubbles, and it's continually being inflated here. Now, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to tell you something here real quick. And I covered this yesterday when I spoke about Michael Burry's call about an imminent market crash, about Jim Rickards' call about a crash by mid-year here. The big if here, people, is again the debt market, and the MMRI does factor that in here. If in fact we see bond yields drop, hold that thought because a big moment is approaching tomorrow. If we see bond yields drop here, you can ignore, at least for the short run, Michael Burry's call, Rickards' call, or any of these major three banks' calls about this market topping out or a big day of reckoning coming anytime soon. Now, why am I saying tomorrow? We're going to get a big inflation report tomorrow. Transitory, that didn't work out. Temporary, that didn't work out. Disinflation, this is their new term that they've been using. Central banks have been raising rates for months now, and inflation continues to rise, although at a slower pace. So we should get on our hands and knees and thank these institutions. But, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, how about, no, they're the enemy. You know that. I just can't stand these institutions. They are deliberately crushing the global economy by killing the consumer, more than likely in the literal sense moving forward here. So tomorrow, big inflation report. It's getting coverage everywhere. You turn on Bloomberg this morning, Fox Business, CNBC, CPI. Okay, whatever. We're going to see, first of all, the data is going to be fake. is completely fake, and I'm going to hate talking about it. I'm telling you that right now. I hate regurgitating the numbers that are fist-fed to all of us because we know they're not real. They have no bearing on reality whatsoever. But okay, whatever. We'll see how the market responds. And that's really the takeaway here. And where are you and I going to look? When this number comes out tomorrow, this inflation number tomorrow, CPI, are you going to look at the stock market tomorrow, or are you going to look at the 10-year yield, the relative strength of the dollar? And you should be looking, of course, at the MMRI, which factors both of these things in. I'm going to have my eyes glued to those three things, more than likely the MMRI, of course. Now, we could potentially hit 250 tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you right now, if that happens, this market's going to get hit. The market is going to get hit. Okay, we'll sit back, we'll watch it, we'll see how it plays out here. So anyway, that's really the big news. And we're going to touch on the market in just a moment here. This CPI report tomorrow, and it's going to move the market. You can believe that. This JP Morgan thing is interesting here, calling a top in the market, very interesting, honestly, and telling their investors to limit exposure to the stock market. That is pretty profound in Greg Mannarino's view. Now let us go look over at this stock market. As I already said, the MMRI is at 241.5 this morning. Stock futures relatively flat. 10-year yield slightly higher this morning. You have the relative strength of the dollar kind of flat here. Cryptocurrencies under pressure. Gold and silver under pressure. You got crude oil, which is, the other factor here that we always have to keep our eyes on in this market. You know how this works. But again, you need three things to occur. Three things to occur for this market to move higher. You need the bond market to remain stable, and we haven't seen. Let me put it this way: we've seen signs of instability here yet again in the debt market. And if central banks do not act, now, well, this is going to be a huge problem for this market. But I still believe that they are going to act. I don't think central banks are done. They want to continue to inflate. They want to continue to buy assets. They want to continue to create dependency on the system. You understand? That's my thesis. That's why I don't think Michael Burry is going to be correct. Jim Rickards, he's out a little bit further. Maybe he'll be correct. I don't know. Morgan Stanley, we'll see. Massive, that's their word, massive disconnect in the stock market. Bank of America, a day of reckoning. Day of reckoning is coming here for the stock market, but it's going to begin in the debt market. And now you got JP Morgan calling a top. And I want to hear from you. What do you think about these calls from these major banks, from these super banks, or the super bank of super banks here, JP Morgan, saying, hey, you know what, guys, we have a problem here. Maybe you shouldn't be buying this market. It's going to be interesting to see who's right, okay? It's Greg Mannarino now versus, I guess, the Wall Street super bank of super banks. I don't believe we've hit a top. I don't believe we've hit a top in this market unless we see the MMRI bang, 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 bang higher. If we see this, let's say today the MMRI keeps going higher. Let's see tomorrow the CPI number comes out, MMRI bang, 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 bang. Yes, okay, it's going to be time to run for the hills, but we don't have to guess here. Okay, we don't have to guess. We have the ultimate tool to gauge market risk in real freaking time. So I'm going to urge you all again. Follow the MMRI today, tomorrow, after the CPI report comes out. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's sit back and see what happens. Now, with regard to this market, we're already in all the right spots, people. We're betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, holding hard assets, physical silver, my favorite of all time. You all know that here. I still think you need some cryptocurrencies in your portfolio. People seem to think that I'm telling people to go all in on crypto. I'm not telling people to go all in on anything. How many years have some of you been with me? And I've been telling you need a diversified portfolio. You got to be in a lot of different things at the same time. I also believe people need, at least for now, some exposure to the long end of the market, meaning you should be buying assets, companies or ETFs that pay you to own them, okay? period. And if you are so inclined, I have released not one, but two absolutely free intraday trading systems for all of my lions out here. Check your newsletter. It's, again, link in the description of this video. I got you covered. I got your back. You got my back. That's where we stand here. All right. I think I've covered a lot here. Now, let me just say this real quick. I will not be doing a live stream today. Okay. I will not be doing one at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be doing a live stream right after the closing bell. So 5 minutes after 1 Pacific Standard Time or 5 minutes after 4 Eastern Standard Time. So be ready for my live stream. I'm going to get geared up to do it 15, 20 minutes before time. So you guys and girls who do hit that notification bell will be notified that I'm going to go live. I want to get more people involved, and I want you to have questions for me, okay? That's what this is all about. Yes, I'm going to do my market report, as I always do, my post-market report, but I want this to be more interactive in real time. I want you and I to talk. Hey, Greg, what do you think about this? Greg, what do you think about that? Or whatever you want to ask me. I don't care, anything you want. I'm a pretty open book. Whatever you want to ask me, let's just get it out here, okay? So be ready for that. And again, please comment. What do you think about the things I've spoken about? Do you feel like tomorrow the CPI is going to move this market? Do you think inflation is going to continue to rise, although maybe at a slower pace? Who knows what kind of nonsense they're going to fling at us, okay? JP Morgan's call about a market top. JP Morgan's call about telling people not to invest in the market here. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I think they see the same things that you and I see. They see a problem here in the global debt market, and they have to warn their clients. So even if their clients don't listen, they can say, hey, we told you so. You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, they're going to bet against their clients, those that are still in the market. And I think most people are going to remain in, honestly. Until the moment where this really becomes very apparent that it's time to run for the hills. You understand? All right, look, this guy here loves you a lot. I mean that. I will see you post-market. Post-market. 5 minutes after that closing bell, you're going to see me. 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. After the closing bell here, you're going to see me live, and we're going to talk, you and me, in real time, and I'm really, honestly looking forward to that. I'll see all of you later. That's all.